But the other day, I guess it was a very emotional experience, wasn't it?
Yes.
Have you ever experienced anything like that before?
No.
Did it drain you emotionally, all of that playing and winning and crying?
Yeah. I only played a little while.
Okay, fine. All right. Is it?
Sue Grandis.
Sue, G-R-A-N?
DYS.
D-Y-S. Okay, fine. Now, if it comes to you, you got to get it, okay? Keep watching the ball down here, too. Your reaction now, after thinking about it, this big win. How do you feel about all this?
Still pretty excited, I guess, because we're the only team in the world, in the United States, that won. It's pretty exciting.
Do you feel pretty special because of this?
Kind of. Because no one else in Kiwanis has done this before.
Now, the other day when you won, it was really an emotional experience, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sitting and sobbing and crying. Is the crying over now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Just smiling?
Uh-huh.
Do you know that you are Chicago's only world's champ right now? Do you know that?
No.
Well, you are. I mean, the Cubs aren't going to win it. The Sox aren't going to win it. The Bears aren't looking good. Does it make you feel pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Thank you. It's easier for us editing. Okay, your name?
Jenna Brower.
Jana?
Jenna.
Jenna. J-E-N-N-A?
G-E-N-A.
G-E-N-A, and your last name?
Brower.
B-R?
O-W-E-R.
Okay, fine. Well, how do you feel about all this?
Fine.
Was it a very emotional experience for you girls?
Yeah.
Couldn't stop crying, huh?
Right.
Now you can't stop laughing? Do any of you girls talk in more than one-word sentences? Huh?
I don't know.
Oh, there's the 3 words. Okay, all righty. Okay, and what is your name?
Karen Marzak.
Karen?
Yeah.
K-A-R-E-N?
Mm-hmm.
Marzak. M-A...
R-Z-E-C.
Okay, fine. Okay. You kids won it all. Did it surprise you?
Not really, because we have a good team.
I mean, you thought you were going to win it all the way?
Well, we knew we'd win up to regional. But it was exciting when we won the World Series.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who, a lot of professional athletes in Chicago who would like to know, how does it feel to be a world's champ?
I don't know. It's exciting.
But not really much to it?
There's a lot to it.
Well, what would you say? What would you say to the professional athletes in Chicago who would love to be world's champ? What kind of advice would you give these professional athletes to become world's champs?
Well, our manager always tells us that we have to take it game by game, and that's how we'll win.
That's the same thing they tell the pros. It doesn't help the guys in Chicago.
It helped us.
Play them one at a time, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole secret?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I presume?
Right.
Okay, that's Jim, right?
Right.
And you are the coach, right?
Right.
Okay, fine.
Go ahead.
Okay, for the editing room. We're speaking with Jim Sullivan, usual spelling, coach of the, what is the official name of your team?
Brookfield National Little League.
Okay, I mean, that's the name of your team.
Right.
You're
We
not-
represent the Brookfield National Little League. So we
Okay,
kept that
fine.
name throughout the
So, I mean, you're not the
process.
Wildcats or the anything like
No,
that. That's
no.
your name. Okay,
Right.
fine. First obvious question, how did you as a coach react to all of this?
Well, emotionally, between my brother and I, we were spent. There was nothing left after it was all over. And if we'd have had to play Saturday, it would have been really hard for us to play because the girls were emotionally up for that game. We had won extra inning 5-4 with them, and then 2 extra innings to this game, making it 1-0. It was awfully tough. But I'd like to mention also that my brother is not here, manager Dan Hall. He was the key to keeping the girls together, along with myself.
In other words, it's the little leagues, but big leagues emotionally, huh?
Right, exactly. I've been doing men's softball, 16-inch, and men's basketball, and I did some girls' basketball just the last couple years. And I thought I saw it all, but it was actually like being in the major leagues. I would presume it was that way. That's how emotionally spent I was. It took me, we've been back for 3 days, and I'm just now getting back to normal as far as stomach problems and the whole thing. I mean it. I'm serious. I was really sick.
You were that emotionally drained.
Yeah, right. And I talked to my brother, and he felt the same way, so I know it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
And a lot of the kids, some of the kids even came up to us. Our shortstop, Jenny Galto, came up to us several times, and she said, "Mr. Sullivan, I'm really sick." And we told her that's a good sign. It really is before a game. The kids really kind of long went us all. They're 11 and 12 years old, and they're all super kids. I mean, usually you'll get one or two in the crowd that we've had problems, don't get me wrong, but whenever one had a problem, the other one would back. If somebody made an error, when they got in the dugout, they wrapped their arms around each other. One would cry, and the other one would say, "Don't worry about it." And the next thing it'd be the other one crying, and the other one putting her arm. I mean, they were super kids. I can't, say enough about what they did, because it was them that had to win it. When you're in the dugout and you got 14 kids, and they're out on the field, you do nothing. I mean, they got to make the plays, and if you scream at them, you sometimes, which I have done. I had a kid come off in tears one game, and I tried to explain to her. I apologized to the whole team. We were in state, and we had 2 outs, and she didn't run hard on a 2-out play. And eventually, she scored the run, but I screamed at her coming home, and she said, "Excuse me for living." And we laughed about it in the ending when they went on the field. When they came back in, I apologized to the whole team. I said, "I'm sorry I screamed at you, but in the heat of the game, it happens." I mean, we were going for Central District at the time.
Okay, now you know that Chicago is not known for its world champs, and you've got to figure all the coaches, the Cubs, the Sox, the Bears, the Bulls, they all got to know, how do you do it? How do you win a world's championship?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm a Cub fan, and I died from 1942. I was born in 36, and from 42 on, I've been a Cub fan. And the way you do it was with a lot of patience and a lot of 11 and 12-year-old girls.
And you don't pay them any money.
Personality is the thing, I think. I think a lot of major leaguers should come back to playing baseball for the fun of it rather than for the money.
I mean, you might have something there.
Because if you look through the major leagues and the guys that have broken the records, Hank Aaron, Pete Rose, Babe Ruth, those guys played for the love of the game. I mean, you got money players, and I'd never name them, that play just for their own glory. Once they get the money, it seems to be over with.
If there was one bit of advice then you could give to the coaches in Chicago of the professional teams, what would it be to win a world's championship?
Hire Jim Sullivan and Dan Hall.
For big money.
Right. No, I would do it for nothing, but I don't have the ability to do it. But I don't know. My personal feeling about the coaching I've done over the years is, and I admire major league managers for it, is the personality conflicts. I don't understand how they can handle them. I think that's the biggest problem.
Okay, Jim, thank you. We're just going to go and talk to you.
Yeah,
Lemon?
Lemon.
As in, there was a great, do you know there was a great pitcher, Bob Lemon? Did you ever hear of him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
What was the first name?
Lemon, Chris Lemon.
C-H-R-I-S, right?
K-R-I-S.
Oh, wrong. K-R-I-S. Okay, Chris Lemon, L-E-M-O-N.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, you're on crutches, leg in a cast. What happened?
See, there was an overthrow at first base, so I was going to go to second, and I slid, and I jammed, I fractured my foot when I slid, because the girl had the ball, and she went down on her knees, and my foot went right into her leg.
Well, big question. Were you safe or out?
I was out.
Oh, double pain, huh?
Yeah. Well, in the regionals, I jammed my foot, and they had to tape it and all that, so.
Okay, I'm trying to get some of you girls to help out our pro teams in Chicago here. They never win the World's Championship. What's your advice to the Cubs and the Sox and the Bears and the Bulls? How can they win a World's Championship?
I don't know. Practice hard, I guess. I don't know.
Is that what did it for you?
Yeah.
And don't break your leg.
Yep.
Okay, we don't move yet. We got.
Amid a disappointing season of Major League Baseball in Chicago, one area team has won a world championship. Frank Matthew reports on Brookfield's Girls of Summer.
Gathered together for one last practice, just to show us Chicagoans what a world's champion looks like. They're the Brookfield National Little League Girls Softball Team, 11 and 12-year-old girls, and this past weekend in Kalamazoo, Michigan, they won it all. The girls from Brookfield beat a team from California. It was a scoreless tie in extra innings when our heroines finally did it. They had won 13 games in a row to achieve this magic moment. They had done it, the Little League World Series of girls softball. The tears are gone now They've been replaced by, guess what? Giggles.
What does it mean to you? Just means you giggle, right?
But despite the giggles, they play a serious brand of ball. And maybe some of our million-dollar athletes could learn how to win that big one from these world champs.
Our manager always tells us that we have to take it game by game, and that's how we'll win.
That's the same thing they tell the pros. It doesn't help the guys in Chicago.
It helped us.
Whenever one had a problem, the other one would back. If somebody made an error, when he got in the dugout, they wrapped their arms around each other. One would cry, and the other one would say, "Don't worry about it." And the next thing it'd be the other one crying, and the other one putting her arm. I mean, they were super kids.
Okay, so they're the world's champs, but do you really think they're good enough to stop one of the great softball hitters of all time?
In an incredible display of courage, the pudgy old pro points his bat over the left field wall. Babe Ruth would be proud, but can this 43-year-old man compete in the world of 12-year-old girls?
Well, that's why they're the world's champs. That's why I'm out of the game. Frank Matthew, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.